Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss The Man with the Golden Gun, starring Roger Moore, Christopher Lee, Britt Eklund, Maud Adams, Clifton James, Bernard Lee, Lois Maxwell, and Desmond Llewellyn, and directed by Guy Hamilton. Now let's just get right into this movie, shall we? We start off at an island that a bad guy that has three nipples, please don't make me say that again, please, named Scaramanga, played by Christopher Lee, as he's joined with a woman until he gets shot by a man who wants to shoot him down, but doesn't succeed and is disturbed by those freaky images plus mannequins that his assistant, who's a little person, and this opening is good for introducing the movie's villain with the golden gun. James Bond, returned by Roger Moore, is assigned by M, returned by Bernard Lee, to go after Scaramanga, and James knows all about him, and nobody in the MI6 knows what he looks like, and asks Moneypenny about 002, how 002 was killed. But nobody knows it's Scaramanga, and don't know whose bullet it is when he is handed to it. And I'm liking Roger Moore better here than last time, where I said he came off as old. He looks better here than last time. James goes to Hong Kong, China, to find Scaramanga and runs into an old flame named Goodnight, played by Britt Eklund, as she picks him up and follows Andrea Anders, played by Maud Adams, who carries a pistol while in the shower, and she has the special bullets that James wants her to deliver to Scaramanga, and that scene was kind of hard to follow, but I had an easier time of which character was who than any other Bond film. A cop who arrested James earlier in last week's movie comes by the home. Oh no, we're not there yet. The Chinese cop who arrested James earlier in the film comes by the home of a criminal who's working with Scaramanga, comes by the place where they learn Kung Fu, and fights the Kung Fu masters and students with two girls, the school girls, I'll say. And that scene made me laugh until they leave him, and that scene was hysterical. Scaramanga shoots his employer and becomes chairman of the board and takes over the company, which is a typical villain thing to do, particularly here Christopher Lee, but hey, he's one of the best things about this movie, in my opinion. Andrea warns James that he's in danger and tells him she needs 007, and I believe that from Maud Adams' acting. James finally meets Scaramanga at a kickboxing tournament, while Goodnight follows the little person to a car to open the trunk, so Scaramanga traps her inside, and James with the cop go after Scaramanga's car in the chase, and I had fun in the car chase from the 1970s, but particularly flipping the car on a bridge that made me laugh so hard. James finds the island of Scaramanga and shows off his weapon factory, and I'm impressed with Christopher Lee's performance in this movie, and same goes with Roger Moore. They're discussing the evil plan of Scaramanga. Scaramanga tricks James and finds a way to shoot him down, and the little person leads him to the same trap as 002 got earlier in the film, but with more danger. James shoots Scaramanga, Goodnight trips in man in the acid, and they find out the island will blow up in the sky high, and Goodnight accidentally opens the laser trap, and clouds trap the energy, and it comes back on, and James gets a device, and they run out of there and get on a ship and find the little person there, and they have a brief fight with him, and James throws him over, well, not overboard, but puts him on top of the deck, and the climax was a good time for me. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. I think Roger Moore and Christopher Lee are the best performers in the movie. I can follow the plot of this movie, and the 1970s car chase was fun, and I had fun with this movie, and the acting was believable. Maybe before the Daniel Craig best James Bond movie of the older franchise. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next time I will be back with The Spy Who Loved Me, and until then, the name's Bond. James Bond.